Quick footnote on the Kings Canyon video. In the video I mentioned that all the hikes were straight up, so I just took a few strolls. Well, after further investigation, I figured out actually at the very end of the road there's miles of flat hiking, so if you go, now you know. Welcome back, folks, to part 2 of the Sequoia National Park videos. On this second half, we're going to head down to the Kings Canyon. Now I'm going to film a few more sequoias that were on the northern end of the park, so don't panic. Oh gosh, more trees. We've seen enough trees. But we're going to go down into the Kings Canyon, see some rivers and some falls, and then we're heading to see the uncle in Sacramento, then the son in San Luis, Santa Barbara, and on through the big city back home. All right, keep enjoying these views, and thanks for watching. Made it up to 7,400 feet. Looking for the Kings Highway where I lost my baby. I must say it sure is nice having a reliable motor vehicle. My younger years, everywhere I went, I was worried I was going to break down in my jalopies. And with the school bus, just totally worried, although it went 100,000 miles with only one blown radiator hose. It's only breakdown. Pretty good. Looking for the Kings Canyon. A couple of brothers built this here house in 1872. This here is another General Grant, I believe. They're all named after Army guys. Interesting. Not often you get to walk up the center of a tree, huh? Seems like we need my song again. You sleep in the hollow log and we drink muddy waters. Babylon come, but Lord, they could never conquer. You really get a view of the sides of it right here. All the way through. A hollow log and we drink muddy water. No bad boy could ever conquer. Boy. When I brought the kids here to make sure they got to experience the big trees, I think this is as far as we made it due to too much snow. Actually, this is as far as we made it because I remember this view. Beautiful colored rocks. Must not have been snow closing the road. I think it was just closed. This is way lower elevation than up top. Lost my love on the Kings Highway. Lost my love on the Kings Highway. I just go looking the other day. Yes, indeed, folks, we're on the Kings Highway. Look at that. High Sierras back there. Woo-wee. Downhill. I guess the canyon's way down in there. fun water chute. Look at that, coming all the way down. Definitely one of the more scenic drives I've ever been on. Luckily, there's really nobody on the road, so don't have to worry about going too fast, going too slow, cruising along on the Kings Highway, you know. Alright, this is the longest, steepest hill I think I've ever been down in my life. Why they call it Kings Highway. Pretty darn kingly. Kind of comparing it to Yosemite a bit. Just incredible. Everywhere you look. I was planning on a little soundtrack action for this drive, but I can only handle so many distractions. Easy now. Getting to the bottom finally. Oh boy, I might have to try to dip in the river somewhere. Well, maybe now that I'm in the shade, there will be no dipping. Possibly heavy rapids. I don't know, I'm thinking this looks like a safe place to swim. Maybe hang on to one of those rocks. This river's just a raging, man. In case you're wondering, yes indeed it is called the Kings River on the Kings Highway. Pretty darn high rocks there. Woo. I took a couple short little strolls in the Kings Canyon, but as far as hiking, it's all uphill. We started the trip on the southern end, I reckon above Bakersfield. Now we're going to leave out the northern end above Fresno and head on over to Sacramento. If you go in early in the morning and leave later in the evening, there's never anybody in the booth. Never get to use my elderly pass. Well, I pulled over for a quick solar shower while there's still a little bit of sunlight left. Got some water and the shower shoes. Here we go. All right, got some fresh outfit on. All cleaned up. Now we gotta go find us a campsite. A nice camp spot here. I was making pasta della croccia when I realized I forgot the noodles, so now we're going to have some beans and chips and avocado and salsa. And I've closed down the kitchen in the back of the van because too many mosquitoes last night. So we're cooking outdoors on the dirt. Little cow came to join me for dinner. Alrighty, we got the piping hot beverage brewing up and we're off to Sacramento next to see my Uncle Jay. Might have to go look down there, see if I can take me a morning dip somewhere. Looks like we're heading down the last hill of the Western Sierras, heading into Fresno, into the flatlands. Plenty of citrus growing out here. There's part of their filthy bullet train. What a waste. Grain, baby, feeding America. Made up to Sacramento, saw my last uncle, not doing too well. They're giving him a couple days, so I'm super thankful I was able to see him before the end. And he did open his eyes and kind of smile at me, so onward hope. South on the 5 up the middle of the state. After about 3 hours I couldn't take it. I turned my AC on. Now we're heading to see my son either in San Luis Obispo or Santa Barbara, depending on where he's at. Alright, heading into San Luis Obispo. Big farmers market night here in San Luis. Place is really hopping. Here's the San Luis Obispo River Walk, which I've always enjoyed. Now I did a lot of filming when I brought my kid to college here, so go down the channel. Intensively carried San Luis Obispo pictures in that one and Pismo Beach. I believe today they got a new pope in the church, so we ought to film the mission. I guess it's the first American guy. There you have it. This little place is overrun with college hooligans, I tell you. Pretty cool looking mural over here.
He walked toe jam football. He got monkey finger. He shoot Coca-Cola. He said, I know you, you know me. One thing I can tell you is you got to be free.
Now that is where the Bucket Ruckus had their first show. Just me and the Reverend. One of the first clubs we ever played in, if not the first. Lost my bride on the King's Highway, and I go look for her just the other day. There's our college kids lining up to get a drink. Woo, this place is happening. Pismo Beach. Heading into Santa Barbara. Look at all the college bikes. A whole heap of bikes. That's what the kelp used to look like at Pipes in Cardiff. Kind of see the islands today. Well, I'm heading down these here stairs to meet my son and his date, and they should be somewhere by that graffiti building over there. Let's check them out. This is actually a pretty decent point break here. You go down the channel about a year, you can see my son catch a few waves out there. Yeah, it wasn't that good a day then either, but it gets good. On my first bike ride from Monterey to home, I spent the night in a soccer goal right here at this spot. Well, I got a couple hours to kill to wait for the LA traffic to die down, so sitting down here by the Santa Barbara Harbor. Unfortunately, due to some sort of algae bloom, there's been a lot of dead critters up and down the California coast right now. But there's the Santa Barbara Pier, beautiful beaches. There's my lovely motor vehicle Rita, just on standby waiting for the final leg of the journey. Fender's taking some heavy damage. We're in the thick of it now, baby. Just to show you it's not all fun and games. You gotta get tortured a little bit. Mr. Rodney, you were home. Did you have fun on the trip? Huh? Come on out. Well, Ralph, how's your little arms feeling after all that odometer spinning? How far did we get? 1,293 miles. That's a big trip there, baby. Pretty nice little quay. Well, I made it all the way to Sacramento. Here, part 2 will come out of extra long formation. Check out both. Part 1. We'll turn this into a 2-part. Welcome back, folks, to part 2 of the Sequoia National Park videos. Now we're going to... Welcome back, folks, to part 2 of the